Gamers, welcome back. Cryptic Gaming here. So I want to tell you everything you need to know about this new PvP Death Tide mode. So when you come to the title screen, you're going to be able to enter into the game, or you can go directly into Death Tides. Now I do recommend going into Death Tides from within the game. That way, if it takes you a little bit of time to actually join into a session, you're not just sitting here staring at a title screen. But for our purposes of this video, I'm going to go into the little title screen here. If you look at the bottom of the screen here, you're going to see where we can actually add 2 other players. For Xbox, pressing Y. If you're on PlayStation, you're going to press triangle, and whatever it is on PC, that's going to be up to you. You know how to add guys into your team. These teams currently are 6 players, but right now it lets you bring in a crew of 3, just so you know. Now, if you are a new player to the game, we're talking just coming in here for year 2, don't worry if your ships are not upgraded to the maximum potential, and don't worry if your weapons are not brought all the way up. They've decided to do something different in this, so what's going to end up happening, we'll go Death Tide's fleet. Any ship that you put in, if you're using the Badar or whatever it is, whether you have that up to a 7 or not on the upgrade level, it's automatically going to upgrade that ship within the Death Tides for you. And also, any weapon that you have, it's automatically going to upgrade those or fully ascend those to the fullest potential that you can get on that weapon. Now, where that's going to change a little bit is if I'm using a weapon that I'm using electric on, and you're using the same weapon but you have it with combust or with fire on there, it's going to go to the fullest potential of what you've selected. So there will be some differences there. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it is going to bring those weapons up. Now, if you've done nothing to the weapon, it's going to default it to what your preset fleet type weapons are going to be set at. So here with the Garuda, there is a lot of poison that they're using with this. And then, of course, you have the battle junk. And then you have a healer. And then, of course, you have the small sloop interceptor. They're using torpedoes on this thing. Then you have the little Badar rammers. And, of course, your Sandbuck pirate class, which is using a form of a bombard that shoots a poisonous cannon. But it also has a blue specter on the front of it. Now, you can change your ships around to whatever you want, to have whatever weapons you want. And it's going to upgrade those weapons to the highest potential. So that may make some of us that have been really striving and pushing hard to get the most out of our weapons a little upset. But understand, if you wasn't able to get your weapons exactly set the way you wanted it, this is going to give you an option to do that in PvP. So something to look forward to there. Now, a couple different things in here. There are a couple different game modes. So the first game mode I want to discuss is going to be called Tidebreaker. Now, this is a hardpoint style game. For those who are unfamiliar with hardpoint, it's basically capturing an area, capturing a zone. And the more people you have on your team within that zone, if you have 3, the enemy has 2, then you are the one capturing the zone. If they have 3 and you only have 2 guys at one time in the zone, they're the ones capturing. So you have to keep forcing them out, and the best way to force them out is to sink them. Now, it's going to be up to you how you decide to do that, how you proceed with that. Now, one of my favorite modes in this, like with all PvP, is what you call a team deathmatch. This is where you come in, you fire up your team, and you come in and you just do as much damage as absolutely possible. You don't really have to capture any zones or anything like that. You're just smoking them down, man, and a lot of fun. Now, you can do a quick play, which is going to pick either or you can choose one or the other. It's going to be up to you how you decide to do that. Like I say, it doesn't matter if you've been playing this game for 2 years, coming on the 2nd year, or if you just started a month ago. You're not going to be anywhere behind anybody. You can choose whatever you want. Now, there was a question about how to add my own fleet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first remove this ship so we can open up. When you come up, you're going to see 5 pluses up here where it says Death Tide Fleet. Then, of course, you have your preset fleet. When you click this plus button, you're going to be able to come in here and choose your ship. Now, if you have a ship and it's collecting pieces of 8, it will not let you select that ship. So we'll go ahead, we're going to assign our Sandbuck over here. Now, in this screen, and we're going to show you how to do it from within the game as well. On this screen, if you look here, it says Manage Ship. We're going to manage our ship. And it has an area called Ultimate. And that's where you're going to be able to choose your ultimate that you want to put on based off the weapons you're using. So my favorite perk so far is the Hunter perk. Now I do have a Brigantine that I'll probably put this True Endless Requiem on which essentially makes it so your ship fires off like a POC. For those who are familiar with a POC, the way he can just spam the torpedoes, that's going to give you that ability. Then, of course, you have the Le Peste signal launcher. Just brings Le Peste in to fight with your team. And then you have the Le Plus Grande Fleur. If you're not sure what that is, if you've ever been trying to do the Grand Fort down below on Tier 2, and you have all those pest ships come in and they just keep spamming you with the poison weapons, that's what this perk does. Now, you do have to reload. Unfortunately, it's not like with the PvE. Now, you also have Ghost Signal Launcher. We've not opened that yet. You'll have Hailstorm Long Guns. I do highly recommend that you use that. If you're using that Garuda, that'll be a great perk for that. And, you just have a lot of really cool stuff here. Now, there was a question about the reward system. Is there anything worth getting into rewards? Well, I think so. So, you're going to see a lot of different things. You're going to get some chests like Badar chests when it shows you that you're getting a Badar or you're earning a cutter or something like that. It's actually adding that ship to your in-game inventory. So if you're close like I am on having a completed inventory of 40 ships, make sure you delete a little bit of room or you might end up losing some ships. I do recommend that you do that because it seems like it's going to force it into your inventory either way. Now, you're also going to pick up some materials chests, as you can see here. It's going to give you sinew string and different things like that. You're going to pick up these ultimates that you can use in PvP mode. And then, of course, each new ship you're going to get, say, cutter chest, and then comes to cutter. Then we get silver. We're going to get some more materials chest, a bastion ultimate. Looks like we get a Hulk chest, so that means the Hulk ship will come up next. Yep. And it's so on and so forth up until you finally reach level 18 here. Then you start getting your upgrade parts. You will start getting pieces of 8. You're going to start getting like your Hailstorm long guns ultimate. I wish that we could use that in PvE. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll eventually come to it, but there's no word on that yet. More silver raiders boxes, silver chests, mass revitalization. Of course, get the Padawakon chest, the Padawakon. For those of you who are new to the game and you've not opened all these ships up, this is a great way for you to get those ships. And we're going to talk about how you earn points in this as well. Now, you may be sitting there going, there's no way I'm going to come in first place. I'm just not very good at PvP and all that kind of stuff. Well, you don't have to come in first place. In fact, your team doesn't even have to win. What you have to do, what you want to do, is you want to accumulate to 1,000 points in each game. Let me get to that section here of our stuff. Yeah, so you're going to have 1,000 points that you're going to be able to open up, which is going to apply toward this, and then you will also end up getting XP, which is how many shots you've put out, and it's going to apply to this as well to complete your tree. Depending on how many points is how far into the tree you're going to complete. Now, it does take a while. You can open up 2 or 3 slots per game if you're doing exceptionally well. You have a very long battle. There's some of these maps that will take you a while to do. We're going to name off some of them. So these are going to be available in Fleet Fire and Tidebreaker. Both sects will have it. You have Brimstone, which is a 6 versus 6 map. It's going to basically have a very large volcano and some small islands. Then you have Sanctuary, which is another 6 versus 6. It takes place next to a DMC settlement tucked away beside some islands. Then you have Sunken Ruins, 6 versus 6. You sail around, you spot various shipwrecks. You may even see the ruins of lost settlements there. Pretty cool little map. Then you have the Makudi Falls, 3 versus 3. The way it depends on or determines which of these maps you're getting is how many people are joined up in the session waiting to play. So if you've only got 6 people queued into queue, then obviously you're going to end up with something like Makudi Falls, which actually is a very fun level. This one here seems to be hardpoint a lot, and you'll have a waterfall on the left and an open area on the right. An open area on the right takes a very long time to hold, but typically whoever gets inside the waterfall caves complex first, you're going to be able to hold that map because they cannot see you as they approach in. So that's always a good thing to use on yourself. If you see that you're losing the other one or your team has practically gained it, it's time to move on and start capturing that point, get into position for it. So a lot of really cool chests, it looks like, start coming in right around level 50. You start getting these mutually assured chests. This is going to give you some pretty sweet looking cosmetics from what I could tell. It looks like a sail, looks like a flag, or yeah, it looks like you get a flag design, and then you're going to get some hull colors as well. Then you're getting a sandbuck chest, which is going to give you some pretty cool stuff for the sandbuck as well. Looks like Phoenix Talons are going to be in there. Some cosmetics, probably a spring loader for those fire mines as well. Then the Serpent's Dew set chest. For those who are familiar with what that is, this is basically the Lepest cosmetics, you know, those glowing cells, the green glowing cells and things like that. This one here appears to be, from what I'm looking at, this here really looks like it is the Roadman Godin from year 1. And then, of course, Lepest cosmetics. So for those who've been asking how you get those, that's how you're going to get them. You got to earn them in here. Then, of course, the Divine Intervention set. Not familiar with the color scheme there. Maybe something that I already have. But as you can see, a lot of pieces of 8 can be earned in game. So if you're wondering, you know, should I focus on getting some pieces of 8 before I come in? Just come in here to have fun. You're going to earn pieces of 8. This is also going to complete your PvE pass while completing the PvP pass. So for those of us who completed PvE originally, our pass, we now have to come in here and complete this one. It's not a big deal. We're going to be able to complete it out. I played it for a couple hours this morning, and I think I'm like at rank 8 or something like that. We'll back it up. But a lot of good parts to get, Sentry modules and stuff like that you're going to be able to grab. But like I said, for the PvP aspect, it's up to you if you want to upgrade those things for in here. I do recommend that you upgrade them, but they have decided they're going to do a balance. So yeah, we're up, looks like we're approaching into tier 9, just finishing into 8 here on our progress. That was playing 2 or 3 maps this morning, so not too bad of an idea. Now, that's everything you need to know out here at the title screen. So when we continue into game, we're going to show you where you will go to. You won't have to go to St. Anne to load this in. And from there, we're going to show you how you can add the ultimate to your ships in PvE mode. Now understand, they will not work in PvE. You cannot take this and use against the environment within the normal map set. It's only for use in PvP as of now, like I say. I hope that changes one day. We'll have to wait and see what Ubisoft has planned for us. So we're here at St. Anne. And if you're just loading into the game, it's going to show you, but being as I've already been to the location, I'm going to have to run here manually. So as you're passing by your blacksmith and your refinery, speaking of which, I need to grab this stuff out of the refinery. Okay. You're going to hang a left right here and go up the stairs. And then you can come over to this area, the rendezvous. Now, this is one of the things that I thought was pretty cool because I've been expecting to do something up here for quite some time, and it is finally here. So this is Death Tides, and you're going to be able to come in and you can find, again, you're going to see where you're at with your rewards. You're going to be able to manage your Death Tides fleet from here as well. And you're going to be able to find your battles here. So you can do quick play, Tidebreaker, or Fleet Fire. It's up to you how you want to play that. Now, if you are going to your normal managed ship, you now have a spot that says Ultimates. And any ultimate that you've opened, they give you 3 to begin with, but any ultimate that you've opened is going to be available under Ultimate. But like it says, only available for use in Death Tides. So hopefully that changes. Don't know that it will, but I'm hoping that it does, because it would be pretty awesome to use that. Now, I do want to take and do a quick thing. Now, we're going to show you how to remove one of your ships if you have it in Death Tides. So, we're going to go to the fleet. And let's see. I want to take my Divine Wind schooner out. Then I'm going to assign my brigantine here. And with the brigantine now assigned, I want to take and change the ultimate because, you know, we've opened up a new ultimate and put that on my torpedo build. Now, do you need this particular armor for PvP? The answer is no. As you can see, I have my Ouroboros armor on. That is doing you absolutely no good in PvP. So you're going to want to change out what your armor is in the game, what it is that you want to use. Go ahead and go with that. And anything in your furnitures that you thought that you needed, such as how we had originally, we had the scrapper station in there. Well, obviously scrapper station is not needed in PvP. They decided they're not going to allow that kind of stuff, so we went with all you know, effects that's going to charge up our ship, and changing out some of these new shields as well, or armors in our equipment. And I am just coming in, and I want to take and make sure. I would tell you that one there, Stormwoven Symphony, that one's actually pretty awesome. A lot of these guys, they like to come up in there, they're bracing in pretty heavy. You can break their brace with that. Now this one here, the Buccaneer's Oath, if you can sink a ship and you have your ability paired with that Hunter perk, you become an unstoppable force for about 30 seconds of two-shot and everything that comes out at you. So pretty awesome to have on there, but doesn't offer a whole lot of protection in the meantime. So it's going to be up to you how you want to pursue that, you know, within the game. So I do think I'm going to play something that's going to do a little bit of damage, maybe. And right now I'm just kind of testing some armors and stuff out. Now the Wrath of Ward, if you use that and you're bracing and you're hitting those guys, it does help to drop their brace, so that's always a potential to use that. I think we'll use Stormwoven on that and we'll try it. So we may try something else on that Brigantine later, but for right now, we're going to keep it like this. See, I want to check my healer build. Now, one of the things I've been doing, playing around with this healer here, is I currently have all but one weapon as a heal weapon. I'm thinking about maybe going with a battle bark on this. Like I said, it doesn't matter what weapon you use on it because it's going to actually boost that weapon. So if you use, say, a long gun 1, it's automatically going to boost it to a long gun 5 with all of the ascended perks that you could potentially have, with some base perks that was there. Now, where you're going to be better off is to throw on like a Lepes 3, even if it's not ascended, then it's going to give those fully ascended stats based off what is in the actual little pre-loadouts that they have down below in the lower ships that the game provides. So it's going to be up to you how you decide you want to do that. I think I'm going to go with you're going to try this one again. I've been kind of having some good luck with it, so we're going to do it again. But I hope that answers those questions for you. Now, there are a few extra little things in here for you to know. Like I said, it's going to show the ship presets. It's automatically going to put best weapons and furniture for its roles. Those are going to be if you're using the in-game ships that they have. Now, you are going to have access to some weapons that are actually in the game. If you go that route, say the Sandbuck here, it actually has the bombards that are giving poison damage. They leave poison clouds everywhere they go, so that's obviously not in the game for us to use right now, but it is a pretty good thing to have in there. Then of course you have the Hunter perk with your Garuda. This is the biggest used ship in PvP right now. Everyone's using it, and it's got Lepes cannons all the way around the floor on the auxiliary. And of course you have your battle junk. This here, they will automatically have ultimates assigned to those guys. So it'll have like the Lepest signal launcher on there. You have mass revitalization on the Paladin, which is your bark, and a true endless requiem on your sloop that they're using as a torpedo launcher. Then of course the Hellstorm long guns equips a frontal weapon which allows for rapid fire or precise shots capable of tearing the sails of ships to immobilize them. That is on the Badar, so not a bad little ship to have. Now imagine once you open up that Hellstorm and you place that on your own Garuda. That's where it's really going to come in and do some serious stuff. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope it's helped you out a lot there, guys. I don't know. I know that there was a lot of big fluff about trying to get our ships built up for PvP, and they've decided here, it seems like, that they're going to balance it. Now, for those of you wondering what's going to happen in game to the PvP that's located in this game here, talking about things such as the cutthroat cargo, or your helm wagers, or even your PvP, none of this stuff is getting changed. You do not get to bring the ultimates coming into, say, a hostile takeover for PvP. It has to be in Death Tide mode, just so you're aware of that. You're not going to be able to sneak one in on the system at all. So, like I say, new players, equipped players, if you've been here a while or just starting off, you're going to be on the same page, being able to use stuff. The only thing that's different is if I have a fully ascended weapon that is focusing on electricity, where the ones in game are focusing on explosive as a secondary, then yes, my electricity stats will fulfill at a higher rating than what I was able to roll. It's going to be the maximum potential within the PvP, and it'll change the damage type a little bit. So you still build your ship out with the furniture that best suits your weapons, and you're just looking at higher, better stats than what you actually had. So if you're getting kind of crummy rolls and you're like, well, you know, I want this perk, but I want a higher percentage, you don't have to worry about rolling that higher percentage right now, because it's going to boost it automatically for you. So hope that helps you out. We'll hop off here and get back at the game.